Search every cook and nanny, hook and granny, crooked search everywhere.
Hello, Internet dwellers, and welcome to Top Shelf Disney Animation Studios Library Podcast, presented to you by Ghost Hat Media. And now, your hosts, Jeff Bell and TC DeWitt.
Got my notes, I got my water, I got my mic.
Ditto and ditto. Good. I'm glad you got the mic. That's probably the second most important part. I know. I'm going to say it's the first most important part.
It's the most important thing.
Otherwise, you're just sitting there talking to yourself, and that would be exactly like what I do every other day of the week.
They say geniuses talk to themselves, so
I am a friggin' genius, TC.
I think that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And you know what? That's the opening of the show. So hello, everybody. Because the beauty of Top Shelf is we start recording and I decide when I'm editing when to fade in.
When does the show actually begin? It has begun.
It has begun. Plus, it kind of keeps you on the edge. You never know when the show's going to start. But hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Shelf Disney Animated Library list.
And I'm telling you, we should have gone with Disney Animation Studios podcast, because then we could have called it DOS Podcast. Unfortunately, we looked.
And apparently that's already taken.
Someone already has DOS Podcast. Yeah.
We came up with we tried calling it so many different things, and it's already been there. It's already been used.
Yep. So we settled on two guys watching the entire canonical Disney Animation Studios library and talking about it. Two microphones, the podcast. Welcome, everyone.
It just didn't seem to roll off the tongue as well as Disney Animated Library did.
Well, we'll don't split hairs. We'll decide. I mean, it's not like we're filming, or it's not like we're recording the first episode or anything. Right?
No, not at all. I mean, we could totally just change this at a later date.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are we recording?
What? Oh, TC, we're recording, by the way. So, everybody who is listening right now, I'm Jeff. I am one of the original two co-hosts of the Top Shelf AFI Top 100 podcast over on iTunes. And if you're listening to this on the Ghost Hat Network, you can listen to all those other ones. They all exist. For about 2 years, my co-host Lindsay and I we watched all 100 films on the AFI Top 100 list of all time. And it was a fun adventure. It was a fun kind of journey for us. That ended almost 2 years ago now. It was May of 2015, and she and I both kind of took a break for a while and kind of stepped out and just did our own things, and recently kind of started getting the bug again. Now, Lindsay is not on this show. That handsome voice you heard earlier is not Lindsay.
Don't be confused. We sound a lot alike. I understand.
You guys
It's fine.
But we decided, because Lindsay wants to take care of the Best Picture winners, the Academy Award Best Picture winners, with Colin, whom, if you listen to the AFI, Colin appeared on a couple episodes. And that left me without a podcast. And then TC, who is the co-host and is that sexy voice you're hearing on the other end. That's TC.
So you can't tell because it's audio, but we're putting quotes around sexy. And voice.
The delayed quotes around sexy and voice. Oh my goodness. But so TC and I decided, you know what we are going to do? We're going to do our own list. So unofficially, that was a horrible introduction to you, TC. I am so sorry.
That's fine.
I meant to do it much better.
I'm TC, everyone. You may have heard me on Franchise Smanchise, which is one of the other infrequent podcasts here on the Top Shelf Podcast Central that this site is.
We just do so many different podcasts for like a couple episodes, and then we like stop for a while, and then we got to do more. And we're the British. Our podcast, our mentality is very much so like British programming.
Yeah, we at our leisure.
Yes. Excuse me, leisure.
Leisure. At our leisure. That's my fault.
So, but that is TC. Oops, sorry. I just banged into my desk here. Oh, broke my desk. That's okay. It's fine. So every week, did we decide? Are we doing this weekly?
Hey, if we're able to do this weekly, we will have a minimum 1 year of podcasting for our listeners.
Fantastic. And I think that's doable. I mean, because the movies themselves, we'll get into that in a second. But I wanted to let everybody, I wanted everybody to say hello to TC, because he will be here every week with me. It's the two of us that are doing this list. And if there's any kind of ever so minuscule audio delays or anything goofy like that, just know that we are recording these episodes thousands of miles apart.
This is true. We are on different sides of the country, but
Exactly.
we're ruining the illusion. They need to, here, let me help you with your desk that you just broke.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and you fixed it.
I fixed it.
TC,
because I'm right next to you.
He is right here. I'm currently poking him.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Squeezing my cheeks.
Now they're all rosy.
Yeah, my face cheeks, people.
Yes. This is a family podcast, everyone.
If there is a delay, yes, we are just a couple thousand miles apart.
And hopefully it won't ever be a problem, but just in case, now you know. So, but basically, so let's get down to the concept of the show. So as we kind of started talking about it a little bit, it's going to be kind of like the AFI Top 100 podcast for those of you who are joining us from listening to that series. If this is the first time you've listened to the show, fantastic. Thank you for listening and welcome. Basically, the premise is that we watch one movie per episode. For this podcast, we are starting with the first feature-length animated Disney film, and we are going to move our way up to the present.
In release order.
So this week's episode is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from
Dwarfs with an F.
With an F.
That's right.
I remember that distinction. This film was released in 1937 for its premiere, but its technical wide release is 1938. A couple months later, doesn't matter. So we're going to start with this one, and then we are going to work our way up to the present. There's going to be, there's what did you say? There's 55 movies?
55 or 56. Moana's the most recent release right now, but by the time we catch up to it, there might be another Disney movie released.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of the fun about this is because technically then once we get caught up in a year, we could do another episode when another movie gets released.
Right. And now here's the thing. Some people are going to be surprised at what counts as an animated Disney Studios release and what doesn't. Because
it's true.
There's oftentimes I will ask someone, what's your favorite animated Disney movie? And they'll want to say Toy Story or they'll want to pick The Brave Little Toaster. Now, granted, both of those movies are distributed by Disney, but Pixar doesn't count, and straight to DVD or Disney purchased films don't count either. So, the Goofy movie is not a Disney Animated Studios release.
Right. It is released by Disney, but it's not it wasn't
it wasn't animated by them.
Right.
Or the specific Disney Animation Studios. There's a distinction, trust me.
But either way, it is going to be quite exciting. There's a lot of films, and so kind of just what you were talking about. It's not just traditional animated films. That's not what this list is keeping it to. We are going to hit because I believe Chicken Little is one of them.
Yep, we get into the computer generated ones.
Right. So we will get into computer generated films later on in down the line. But I mean, that's a whole nother year away.
Yeah, that's in the 2000s.
Exactly.
we're in the 30s right now.
Man, we are pre World War II. Just on the cusp of it, because isn't that was the late 30s, in the heyday of or the kind of the start of film and all that fun stuff. Cartoon movies weren't heard of really, not feature length at least, and it's really exciting.
Before Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, there were a couple other lengthy animated films, but they didn't exceed an hour. And the two animated features, I'm throwing air quotes up, that existed before Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were lost. They don't exist anymore. So,
which is crazy to think, to have those. nowadays would be like it'd be awesome just to see like what those were like, what was the quality of those like, what were those movies, because I'm not gonna lie, so for the AFI Top 100 podcast, we did Snow White. It was number 34.
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of like a revisiting for me, but the structure of the show is going to be a little different. We don't have like the hard, clear cut sections. Like we're not going to be doing like the awards and doing trivia and then doing like we're not going to do that for this. If it comes up, it comes up. We're just going to leave it kind of very loosey goosey, everyone.
Yeah. So some of these episodes might be long. Some of them might be short. Depends on how much we have to say about these things.
Exactly. And what got me excited about doing this list is that there is quite a few of these movies that I have never actually seen.
I have the edge on you then, because I have seen them all. About 5 years ago, let me think. It was when Tangled came out, and the opening came up, and it was the 50th. It was the 50th animated release was Tangled. And I was like, man, I don't know if I've seen all 50 of these movies. I am now going to watch all 50 of these movies. So I have gone through this list previously, and I've been wanting to go back and go through it again and have discussion about it. So this works perfectly. This
does work perfect because that was the fun about the AFI podcast, was like there was a bunch of those movies that I'd never seen, and it was fun watching them kind of like as an adult too. And I really feel like watching these cartoons is going to be really interesting for me, because it's like I'm an adult and holy cow, was that inappropriate, or like I can't believe that was a kids movie, like stuff like that. I'm hoping to get some kind of extra appreciation out of it.
Oh yeah.
So it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to doing this. And then there's other ones that like I haven't watched since I was a little kid. I don't remember the last time I watched Bambi, but I remember I watched the Three Caballeros all the time as a kid. All the time. Loved that one for some reason.
You just like the music?
I think so.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting once we get there. So, but for this week's episode, not today's episode, we're not doing these every single day.
Yeah, we'd never get.
Holy cow!
We have
TC.
We have jobs.
We have jobs and lives, and I have to sleep, and so does TC at some point. So, but let's get on to the movie that we are here for today, which is the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. As I said previously, released wide release in February 4th, 1938. TC, what is your just initial thoughts regarding Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Like, what do you feel about it? What do you think about it?
Well, going into it before doing the rewatch of it, this is a classic. This is like the classic Disney princess movie. Snow White is this turning point in cinema and animation, and the colorization of film was the beginning of that. And I have an appreciation for how classic this movie is. And I whistle while I work all the time. So I have certain memories of this movie. I couldn't tell you the first time I saw it. I don't remember the first time I saw it. It might have been when I was quite little. Although I did have a VHS of sing-along Disney songs. So I might never have actually seen the full Snow White until I was older and only ever saw Whistle While You Work.
I had that VHS tape too.
Yeah, it had like Zippity Doodah on it and everything.
Yep. It was like a little like karaoke. You had like the karaoke. You had the lyrics on the bottom of the screen.
With a little bouncing Mickey head.
Yep.
Whistle while you work.
But in terms of like, do I love this movie? I don't hate it, but it's not. Yeah. It's certainly not an important, a wildly important film to me personally. But as someone who grew up drawing cartoons, I grew up on Disney. I being interviewed at Disney was one of the greatest achievements of my life. Not getting hired by them, that certainly didn't happen. But
hey, you got an interview at least. That's awesome. That's more than me.
But yeah, I like Snow White. It's fine. But how about you? What were your initial thoughts going back into this? Seeing as you probably watched it more recently than I did.
That is very true. I have watched this movie probably more times than I'd care to admit, not just because of the AFI Top 100 podcast, but because of my nieces. For a period of time when I was living with my nieces loved this film, and watched it on a daily basis for a while. So I know this movie very well, unfortunately. But like I'm kind of in that same boat as you, whereas like it wasn't. Growing up, this wasn't like one of the first Disney movies I remember seeing. It's not. I know that for a fact. But and growing up as a boy, I didn't really watch Snow White because that was princesses and like you didn't. That's
women stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like we didn't watch those types of movies, so like I didn't watch it as a kid. But when I got older and I watched it, I appreciated it for what it was. And actually this viewing, it's fascinating. I never realized how beautiful some of the animation in this film is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gorgeous and there's spots that aren't so good at all.
Yeah. But the matte paintings in particular.
The matte paintings are amazing. The water, the animation they do on the water for when Snow White is singing into the well, and there's like little ripples that are happening on it, and when she's walking in the forest with the animals along the river, the water is like, I would honestly compare it to like a late 90s, early 2000s like CG animated water. Like it looked fantastic. I don't know how they did it in 1938
because they had about 500 uncredited, like 200 uncredited animators who were doing the details frame by frame.
And it was crazy because it looked so amazing, so fascinating. I actually stopped and was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah, I feel like there isn't that real appreciation, particularly for animation, where you have to. They drew it's 24 frames a second.
Yeah.
Hand drawn on cells, penciled it, inked it, painted it, flipped it down, snap a shot, next one. And this is an 80-minute movie.
Yeah, exactly. An 80-minute movie in 1938 with no digital help, digital help whatsoever. Yeah. Because like you look at that, like I'm going back to the water because the water's hugely impressive because I know how much of a pain that is to actually make look good. But like the water in it nowadays that you could do it so easier, so much simpler, so much faster.
Click the water filter.
Exactly, and now it's just like boom, we're done. You pulled your filter out of your water jug and you just
poured it on your computer. I did it wrong.
Oh, it didn't make water; it made fire instead. Oh, but like just to look at that, like, it was so well done, and like I'm sitting here like nowadays going, well, yeah, you could do that. Mm-hmm. But how did they draw that? How did they optically make that work back then?
Yeah, it's the power of white paint, basically, to have that matte painting of the creek, and then to create the flow of water using it. The techniques of 1938, 1937, the techniques of animation are nothing compared to what they are now.
Right.
It really was just a different time, and that's why this movie is such a monumental achievement to animate that much.
And that's the thing. Like, and I was thinking about some like I want to definitely get into kind of just like the style of this film too, because there's definitely a style. But like one thing I did notice about it was that and I guess maybe this is going to be more of a thing I'm just going to see when we watch these, because I guess in my head and in my memory, I don't remember these movies looking in a particular way. Mm-hmm. But like the one thing I noticed while watching it this time around was that the film is the movie's very much so made as if it's a live action film.
Oh yeah, it's presented in a very classic theater style. The early era of cinema, cameras didn't necessarily move. For live action, if you look at the old school movies, the camera movement and less stagey theatrical kind of films, that didn't come along till decades into the era, like into film. And this movie, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, definitely plays out like a stage production.
Yeah, and it's also very quick. It moves a lot faster than I thought it would, because you get a bunch of movies, in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s that the pacing was very slow, story wise. They would kind of explain everything at a leisurely pace, and then would move on to the next bit, and kind of beat you over the head with information, but not to the point where you're like, holy cow, I know, just move on. Like,
I wonder if the limitations of animation and limitations in meaning that like they couldn't do everything they wanted to because they didn't have the manpower or the time or the money. That's probably why we have some reading in this film.
Very true. Especially when you get to the end where it's like, this became a book all of a sudden. Hold on. They're trying to tell me everything I need to know.
It opens as a book. It does open with the book where it says once upon a time, there was an evil queen, and she wanted to be the beautiful one, and Snow White's pretty, but as long as she just stayed ugly and as a scullery maid.
And the thing that I like, though, is it opened live action.
Oh, yeah, of reading a book.
Reading a book.
Yeah.
The opening and the ending is a live action book opening and shutting. It's not an animated book. It's not, nothing like that. And it's interesting because I would like to look, and I'm probably looking into this far too much, but I like to look at it as like, so was this their like, hey, we're trying to transition the audience from what they're used to, which is live action films, into this cartoon world by like, we're starting with live action and then we're moving into it. Like, do you think that might have been what the concept was, or do you think they just didn't know how to draw a book opening?
No, I think you're onto something there, because if you look at, say, Wizard of Oz, it's black and white, and then there's that reveal of entering the colorful world. And perhaps that was their goal with opening the book. Like, here's a book. Oh, it's live action. And, that's a painting. Oh, there's a character there. It could very well have been a way to immerse the audience into the world visually. As well as something that the cynical modern mind would look at this and poke all the logic holes in it and whatnot. But there's a safety net for protecting itself from that scrutiny, in that, look, it's a storybook. I'm going to tell you a story.
Yep. And I guess that by doing it that way and looking at it from the direction of, yes, this is a story, so if there's any problems or if there's any issues with it, just go, no, it's just a story. It's fine.
It's a book.
It's a book. One of the things that I noticed about the style of it, of the film, was that so Snow White and the Queen, before she turns into the witch, is very much, which that scene is also quite frightening, actually. But like they are drawn very, very human-like. They don't have, and I understand this is real. Obviously, this is before Disney kind of defined a Disney-looking human, quote unquote.
Yeah, they definitely were. There was elements of rotoscoping, very likely, of animating over photography.
But like even like the proportions of the facial features, the eyes, they're a little bigger, but they're not Disney big. They're not the traditional huge Disney eyes. And Snow White and the Queen are that way. But then you get the woodsman or the huntsman, and he starts having a little more cartoony looks to him. And then obviously the dwarfs look like cartoons. Right. The dwarfs look like a Disney cartoon.
They look like they could stand right next to Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it was curious. Again, this is stuff that I've out of all the times watching this movie, I've never seen before. But like, I thought that was an interesting technique, and I was trying to figure out why they might have done that. Like, why was Disney and the Queen Snow White and the Queen that way? But then when the Queen turns into the witch, she becomes very Disney cartoony. So is it like only the normal humans? I guess the prince is that way too. So only the traditional humans were drawn in that style, but then everybody who is a little off or different or magical or mystical was
drawn that way to match that way. That's a fair theory. It very well could be. They want the audience to be able to attach themselves fully to the main character and the prince. But if you keep Snow White the most realistic and grounded in a reality, and everyone else is supporting the fantasy, the audience will. It's a visual way to create an attachment to a character because Snow White is the most realistic looking character. Therefore, the audience will look to her as the visual center point of the film, as they should. It's an interesting technique that they took in presenting it that way, but it makes a lot of logical sense.
It does, because I mean, the audience, not just you, TC. No, but like the audience is going along with Snow White on this journey. Because of her, we're brought into this world where a queen wants to kill her, and she ends up having to run away, and she finds these these dwarves, and she doesn't know who they are, and she kind of like befriends them, and like the audience follows her, and that does make sense. That if to have the audience, by giving them a visual cue of somebody like, oh, well, she looks just like us, I can relate to her better. Personally, I can relate to the prince. I know
that about you. I know that about you. You wear those tight pants and those boots everywhere, all the time, everywhere. I go to the bank wearing the boots, and I go to the gym wearing those boots. It's they get a little hot and sweaty, right? But the hat is only for sunny days. It's cool.
Yeah, and I do have an alternate hat for less than sunny days, and then I just don't wear it because I have a perfect head of hair. This is a known fact. None of you have seen me because it's only podcast.
I have an observation about this movie that I'd like to discuss with you. And you kind of mentioned this off mic before we started. Just is this appropriate for kids? Because this is this like classic children's film. But in the first 7 minutes, the queen says, "Kill Snow White."
Yeah. And like bring what she wants, her heart or she wants like a part of her in that container.
Bring me her heart.
That's kind of brutal, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting that they would that would be so right there up front in the movie. Were kids less sheltered back in the 30s?
I don't know. Like that's it's very interesting.
People talk all the time about like the Disneyfication of Grimm fairy tales, and yes, the Grimm fairy tales were much more grim, but also the ability to A, entertain, and B, give that moral lesson. It's better if you I think the Disneyfication of fairy tales is a good thing. Other people would disagree and say, no, I want the original gritty version. It's like, okay, who's that for? Is that for you? Go read the damn book. This is for
exactly.
This is for children.
This is for children, and like it. And I feel maybe it still is a little good that there's a little bit of that scariness in it, because the scariness in it is just to help drive the story. It's not trying to, shock the younger audience or the viewers. But I know. Like my nieces were scared of the wood scene, as I mentioned off mic. Like when Snow White's running through the forest, and like it's very much so a Wizard of Oz type forest, because all the trees are faces, and
she's just perceiving it that way.
True. That is very true. And she's fine once she finds the animals. Which makes she's a little Dr. Dolittle-ish. But
yeah. A lot of the Disney tropes are established right here in this very first film. You have the main characters starting in very woeful circumstances. Many of the princesses start as homely slave girls. The ability to speak to animals, but those scary elements of the woods and of the queen and the more scary, like the broad strokes of this film, make it easier to just get to the point instead of developing deep subtext and exploring very complicated dynamic relationships. Like, nope, bad guy, good guy, here we go.
Yep. Yeah, and that was another comment that I had written down on my notes here, was like this movie just begins and it goes and it's like, yep, boom, this is the bad guy. Here's what the bad guy wants. Go kill her. Moving on. Like, okay, and we're at a musical number. Like, whoa, okay, we're moving. We're in the story now, and no need to because Aladdin freaking took 25 minutes before you get into anything like that.
Well, we don't know that yet. We haven't got to Aladdin.
That's true. I haven't watched it. No, I don't know, a couple days or something like that. But one of the other Disney tropes that because I have a small list of tropes on mine on my list that I was jotting down. A very classic trope was started in this film: the villain falling to their death at the end.
Yes, that's right. How do you kill a Disney villain? Knock him from a high height.
Exactly.
We'll start a tally first.
It's like, that's all it takes apparently. But you make a good point. You make a good point that a lot of those kind of tropes were started in this era or this film. Actually, it's gonna be very interesting to see how many more times those pop up. Like, how much of a trope is that actually?
Right.
Because I mean, I can think of like 3 or 4 more movies where that happens to the villain, but maybe I'll be incorrect.
Yeah,
as we go.
It's part of the fun of the Disney movies is to just enjoy them for what they are, but another part of the fun is to poke at them and mock their. I mean, even Disney themselves have reached this era now where they do kind of mock their original tropes and whatnot. Not even the more recent films. You can go to like Enchanted, which made fun of a lot of what the classic Disney tropes are.
Yes.
See,
yes.
I think, look at the Queen's circumstances, and I'm like, just shave Snow White's head.
That's all it's going to take.
Yeah, just shave her head.
And I want to know, like, how many? I feel like the Queen's motivations are a little off. Like I feel like, are you really telling me that she is so like caught up in being the prettiest person in the kingdom that this one person is just going to ruin it for her and forever? That just feels a little.
It's a morality tale about vanity.
Vanity, right?
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense.
It's about,
but more poking fun. I would like to do a little bit here, just because I can't help myself. So here's an honest question, and this pokes fun and an honest question for you, TC.
Okay.
If you're wandering around in the forest, never mind the fact that you're apparently talking to animals. Whatever, that's a thing that you do, and I know that's a thing you already do.
Yeah, regularly.
Regularly, right? If you're walking around in the forest and you find a house and the door is only up to your chest and you walk in and there's cobwebs everywhere and it looks like no one's lived there for ages, would you proceed to clean the house?
Well, if I was nearly murdered and fled through unfamiliar territory, collapsed crying, and was befriended by cute little animals, and then they showed me the house. I mean, obviously, as a girl in 1937, the first thing I would want to do is cook and clean.
Is cook and clean, right? Exactly. Like I laughed at that so much because I'm like, why are you cleaning this strange house that looks like that terrifies me. That would scare me to death.
You're looking at it from a modern lens, Jeff. You have to look at it that Snow White is so inherently sweet and good that she found joy in the worst of circumstances. Like, I know that hunter tried to murder me, but sweeping is fun.
I'm just going to pass all that off. It's okay.
She might be
water under the bridge.
Maybe she's slightly mentally unstable. Is that what you're getting at?
Maybe. I mean, she cleans the whole house. She lets the animals cook food that she then proceeds to serve.
You're looking at it too logically, Jeff.
And then she proceeds to sleep in 3 of their beds because they're so small, and she's the one that gets scared when they show up. If I showed up and someone was sleeping in my bed, I would be terrified.
It's a storybook. This is a story.
And that's how it all is okay at the end of the day. It's like, it's just a story.
Just a story.
It's fine. But the thing is, like, so just kind of generally talking about the film, it moves really, really well. I'm surprised with how well it does move and how quickly it moves and how entertaining it is. It is very, very funny. I do like the dwarfs. I do have another question regarding them.
Oh, sure. I enjoy it does clip along rather nicely for being it's a little over 80-minute movie, and there's never a point of checking my watch bored. No, which is a sign of a good film that this many decades later, it's still engaging enough to entertain. That it
Exactly.
just moves right along, and having just little gags here and there. Something as simple as her like wiping the glass to look through the window, and then the little raccoon doing the same. Like that's cute, and it's fun. It's like fun. It's a fun, neat little thing to. That's one of many. The whole movie is littered with that, where there's just tiny little things to constantly hold your attention.
Right, and that's exactly what I was just going to say, that those things they're spaced out at just the right interval where it's a little before you might consciously start, for people nowadays, I feel like, just because of the world's attention span. And hey, I'm guilty of this too in many cases, so in certain films, but like those moments happen a little bit before I would start going, okay, how much longer is this? Like, because it's, you kind of like, you enjoy it. And then you kind of like, okay, it's been a couple minutes. And then like, oh, there's another thing. Oh, that's funny. Or, oh, there's a song. Oh, Back to the Queen. Like it keeps just at those right spots that it keeps you engaged in the film from beginning to end. And it's definitely, it's, and watching it this time was actually better than watching it for the last podcast. So,
well, that's good. And once those dwarfs show up, and the music to get things going is not catchy. My first note right away is like, I remember the music being more catchy, but then that's because I had forgotten about "Whistle While You Work." Once that song kicks in, it's like, oh, I know this song. This is a classic song.
Yep.
And "Hi Ho," as simple as those lyrics might be, I mean, I quote that all the time as well.
Well, and I think everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows that piece of music. Like if you started playing "Hi Ho," people would recognize it. They know yeah.
It's so ingrained. It's so ingrained into pop culture.
Right. It's a part of the world. I, as a small child in elementary school, our city would do a citywide sing, where a bunch of the elementary schools would rehearse like basically a 90-minute show, a musical number, and we would sing it for our parents with choreography and stuff like that. We would all stand still, so it was all just upper body choreography,
work
a lot of hands,
work the arms.
Yep, a lot of working of the arms. And the first one we did in first grade was the Disney Spectacular, and it was a 90, like maybe an hour, maybe not 90 minutes, because that's a lot for a young group of kids
for first grade. Yeah.
But like it's a lot of these songs are ingrained into my head because of that. So "Hi Ho" and "Whistle While You Work" and was it not Jump in Time? A bunch of Mary Poppins ones, Zippity Doo Dah, a lot of those songs are all like ingrained in my head.
Step in Time.
Because of Step in Time. That's it, not Jump in Time. I kept thinking of like Jump in the Line from Beetlejuice. Completely different song. It's not Harry Belafonte. But
so the dwarfs. So you had a note about the dwarfs you want?
A note about the dwarfs. Do you think they were? This is more just picking on it because I like doing that. Do you think they were born with those names, or do you think those are their nicknames?
That's a fair question. In the original Grimm fairy tale, they don't have names.
Because they were just
the Seven Dwarfs. That's it.
Yep.
And they went through this was just part of development to give all the seven individual characteristics, individuality. They had you can find it online. There are dozens and dozens of names that would have equaled personality that then they could therefore animate to. And they settled on those final 6, actually, they had settled on, and Dopey was the last one that they developed.
Because that was basically the thing that drew him to the story, to making the film, was the dwarves themselves. That was kind of the thing, because that's the thing, that those dwarves are very much so Disney characters.
Oh yeah,
like those that's flat out a character that'd be in a Disney movie, like obviously, because it's kind of they're goofy. There's some serious. There's it's very much so the types of characters or the types of personalities that Disney characters would have.
Yeah, they created a standard that people still use to this day to be able to create 7 distinct characters, though some of them don't have as much time on screen. I think Happy gets a couple lines, and but everyone else seems to have a nice characteristic that makes them memorable. Bashful has some good I can't stop. Sneezy has his whole gag.
Yep.
Now, actually, since we're talking about the dwarfs, if I may,
please.
Grumpy is the only character in this movie with a story arc.
Interesting point.
Okay, now, yes, this is a very base, simple film. There's a lot of broad strokes in this. But really think about the development of Grumpy Dwarf in that he is curmudgeonly. He's the grump. He doesn't trust him. He's the one giving the warnings. He's the one who doesn't trust Snow White. He's putting up the fit. He doesn't like her. I'm grumpy. I'm just going to do what I do. And then when she's kissing them goodbye to go off to work, he like checks himself in the mirror real quick and fixes his eyebrow and then pretends he's a grump again and then looks back and trips. And even she specifically calls him out in her prayers at night that she's like, thank you, bless this and this, and please make Grumpy like me. And
that is a very good point.
When the queen, as the evil old hag, attacks Snow White's and the animals go to get the dwarfs, it's I think it's Bashful or Sleepy who's like, well, maybe the queen is there. Grumpy's the one who says, we gotta go, and he leads the charge to the hut. He leads the charge after the queen. Like he has character development. He goes from grumpy, curmudgeonly, not happy to be there, to actually having some sort of affinity for Snow White and being the one who leads the charge to rescue her. I think there's a story to be had there, that to tell Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs through Grumpy's point of view there's something there.
And it's very interesting that they would have chosen to even have done that, because there's no need to. There's honestly, with a character like Snow White in theory should be the one that actually has the story arc. If anyone's going to have a story arc, it should be the character the movie's named after. You know, like that should be the person. So the fact that they had one, not even like multiple, just one of the Seven Dwarfs have any kind of a story arc is is a fascinating decision on their part, on their storytelling part. And why would they have done that, you know?
I'm not sure that they deliberately did that, but there's enough information there from a script perspective to say, to point that out. And it had to have been deliberate that Grumpy's the one who leads the charge. Doc is supposedly the leader of these dwarves, but it's Grumpy who is actually the voice of leadership in the group. Maybe I'm looking too deep. Maybe I'm looking too deep.
No, but you do have a good point, because really why there definitely has to be something there. There has to be some sort of a deliberate choice in that, because there's no reason otherwise. Why would they have made Grumpy say that? Because they could have given the line of well, come on, let's go, to Doc, who basically seems like the leader of it. He would be the one that would do it. Grumpy would do it just because he will, but it's not. Why was it him? Why did he have that option?
Yeah.
Or why did they give it to him? And maybe it was, I don't know, the 30s. There was a lot of bad stuff that had happened. I mean, we hadn't hit the war yet at that point, World War II, and bad stuff was coming. But maybe it was some sort of like even even upset people or grumpy people or angry people can be happy again. Like maybe it was some sort of a minimal or subconscious decision or subliminal decision to make it be like, everybody can be happy. It doesn't matter, except for the queen. Yeah. But she fell off a cliff because
she had trouble.
Silly.
She couldn't stop laughing when she turned into the old hag.
It is true. And turning into that old hag, I wonder, did she really have to take a potion? I feel like she could have just put the robe on. And that would have been enough. I feel like the potion was just unnecessary.
She was very, very vain.
She's
was. Like, I'll be the prettiest in the land now.
And it's funny that in her attempt to get rid of the one thing that doesn't make her the prettiest thing in the country, she becomes the ugliest thing in the country, in the kingdom instead.
That's where the lesson lies, Jeff.
And then she dies ugly.
Yeah, for our young viewers, that's where the lesson is.
So the lesson is don't be ugly.
No.
What is the lesson, TC? That's an interesting topic. Maybe we should try to include this on each of these, because the Disney movies do tend to have a lesson they're trying to teach people.
Right. The fairy tales were proverbs in their own way. If you do go back and look at the Grimm fairy tales and the much more morbid ones, the message of those, they are trying to teach a lesson. They aren't just these fun, bedtime stories. They're bedtime stories that are supposed to leave the children that are hearing them, or the people around the campfire hearing them before going to sleep, something to think about as they're drifting off to sleep. And the Disneyfication of that, the idea is still there, that vanity is the villain. That the queen was so vain to want to destroy something that was better than her, that she even goes so far as to be like, I want to kill her. Wait, is there a way to reverse this spell? And she looks that up. Did she once even consider how she was going to become pretty again?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because her vanity drove her.
She was so caught up in it that she didn't even think that far.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good thing. I think that would be kind of this would be a nice little section we can tack on at the end of every episode. Just if there is one. If there's not, there's not. Just just what the message is or what the lesson is from it, because that'd be kind of just a fun little extra bit there.
What were they trying to say? And I think that is the lesson of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, is that the lesson of be a good person and just like Snow White, be pure and be honest and be innocent, but the real lesson comes from the vanity of the queen.
I like that. For those of you guys who are listening, like this is, so we have a basic structure for the show, kind of. We just really wanted to focus on discussing stuff, but new things might be added. If you listen to the Top Shelf podcast, you know that we added things and got rid of things as we went along. So, I kind of like that, actually. That's an interesting theory. Thank you for bringing that up, TC. Yeah. This is why TC is sitting right next to me for this podcast.
I contribute. Here, let me give you a hug. Squinch. Whoa.
It was a little... sorry, what? Was that
watch your hands next time, pal.
Okay, I'll keep them above the neckline. So one thing I do want to kind of segue in here very briefly. A lot of Disney movies over the years, because people sit and scrutinize them and look into them very deeply. They look into just like they dissect every bit of it, and a lot of times you get these theories that show up, these like fan theories online. Yes. And one thing that I kind of thought might be fun, if one of these movies does have a popular internet theory, I just thought we could briefly touch on it and discuss whether or not we think that theory could be.
Is it viable?
These movies, is it viable? Because these movies are open to many interpretations.
Of course, yes.
So the big one for this one that I always remember, I wanted to bring up just to ask you, is the theory is that when the queen poisons Snow White with the apple,
okay, she
actually does die.
Ooh.
And so after we get the block of text explaining that the dwarves couldn't bury her, they couldn't bring themselves to burying her, so they put her in the glass case. Okay. After that, when the prince shows up and kisses her and she wakes up and they ride off, that the theory is that is actually a I can't think of the actual term for it, but that's
she's delusionally fever dreaming this as she's dying.
Right. And it's actually her going to heaven, because there is a shot of the castle that the prince is taking her to.
Right. Yep.
And it's in the clouds.
I noticed that as the movie was ending. That's the last shot. Yep. And even thinking for a moment, like,
because it's a prince on a white horse that shows up and brings her magically back to life with a kiss, and she gets on his horse, and the two of them ride off to this castle that looks like it's floating in the sky. Yes, you could theorize that it's a really tall castle and it reaches above the clouds. But so that's one of the popular theories, is that actually is that she has passed away, and that is her moving on. Yep. Do you think that theory works? Do you think there would, do you think that would come into play, or do you think
it holds water?
She did
like, I can see it. It does hold water. That it does seem like a very death dream.
Right.
However, I don't think that was their intention. I don't think the writers or Disney himself were like, okay, she dies, but let's make it look happy. I don't feel that was their intention. How about you? How do you feel about this theory?
I think I'm definitely along the I'm along those kind of same lines where it feels a little bit too deep for, especially for a cartoon movie from the late 30s, because the original book ends with, I believe it's like the prince or somebody like that. She actually has like a piece of the apple like lodged in her throat.
Oh, all right.
And I believe like the prince or the huntsman or one of those two, where they actually come along and they're the ones that like dislodge the piece of apple from her throat, and then she revives. She comes back to life.
Oh, okay. So she's just long-term choking.
Exactly. Like she basically just passed out.
Arsenic is made from apple seeds.
Oh, interesting.
and do you know what helps prevent arsenic from harming someone? Carbon, as in coal.
Interesting. You mean the same type of coal that possibly the dwarves were
mining from? Yes.
Mining from?
Yes.
I think this is deeper than
All I'm saying is
where we were just going.
Grumpy's the hero. That's what I was getting at. Grumpy's the hero.
That's the end. That's the takeaway. Grumpy's the hero, and that's maybe that's, and he probably became grumpy again because he watched the prince, who did nothing to save her, show up with his big white horse and ride off into the sunset with her, and he's like, I was totally going after her, and he just came and took her away. Grumpy again.
Gotta live with these 6 other guys.
Oh man! So that was all. That one theory was the one that I just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, and I thought that'd be interesting. I just wanted your opinion on it. So
yeah, I like that, because I would wager, because the internet giveth more than it taketh away. We could probably punch in any movie title and write theory. And someone has theorized about it.
Somebody has theorized about it, like how the entire Disney animated universe, that whole theory that it's all connected.
The Pixar universe.
The Pixar universe, but there's also
right.
there actually is one for the Disney animated, like traditional animation ones,
right? Like Tangled and Frozen are connected. Yeah.
Right. And Tangled and Frozen are connected, but they're also connected to Tarzan and Little Mermaid because of Tarzan's parents were actually the parents of, whatever. Like,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that later
in 50 episodes.
So stay tuned, everybody. But yeah, that's kind of all I had for notes regarding this film off the top of my head. TC, was there anything that you had, any last thoughts regarding Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
No, I've checked off everything on my list.
Would you watch this movie again?
Yeah, I do think that, I mean, I won't rush out and watch it anytime soon, but I do feel like it's a movie that it'd be worth going back to from time to time. I definitely would, if there are people out there who haven't seen this, that maybe have children. This feels a lot like those films from our youth, which were a little darker. That I feel there's something that Disney offers that a lot of kids' movies don't offer, which is that element of death and fright. It's not horrifying,
no,
but there are elements in this movie that, for a young kid who's kind of at that point where they need to start learning more about deeper subject matter. Yeah, give them this. I wouldn't show this to like a 3-year-old. They'd wet themselves
immediately because it's not the. There's definitely spots in it that are way too frightening for very small children. But no, I kind of agree. I definitely agree.
You've watched it multiple times, so I'm assuming you'll keep watching it.
I'll keep watching it. Like you said, it's not. I won't go back to it immediately because I had that period of my life where I watched it all the time, and I'm moving away from that period of time in my life now.
Well, I do have something I want to ask that I will ask in every episode. Okay.
Oh, fantastic!
Of all the Disney movies we watched so far, where do you rank this one?
Oh man, that is a tough question, TC. Maybe like 11.
No, come on. Let's be real here, Jeff. This is number one, easily.
This will be number
easily
one.
Number one.
It's easily number one out of all the Disney movies we've watched so far.
On this podcast,
This is number one.
This
on
is
this
number one.
podcast,
Yeah.
it's number one. Yep, right at the top of the list. I don't see how anything could possibly top it.
Maybe the next one, whatever that might be.
Whatever that might be. And that's a great segue, TC. You gave your answer, right? You're saying
Yep.
this is number one as well?
This is number one. Yeah.
Wanted to make sure you didn't have a different answer than I did. So actually, no, I forgot. There's one more thing that we do need to talk about.
Sure.
Real quick side note regarding these episodes, these podcasts. One thing I definitely want to do, and I know TC, you're on board with this as well because it was your suggestion, and I was fully behind it. We would love to hear the listeners' thoughts and opinions on some of these films, whether it's on the movie that we are going to be doing next, or it's on the movie that we're doing now. So,
Right. So if you have any thoughts on Snow White,
yeah, I will try every week to post beforehand. We're going to try to record these every Monday night or so. So anytime you guys have thoughts regarding the movie that we just did or the movie that we're going to be doing next, please, there will be a post on the Facebook page, which is Top Shelf Pod. You go to facebook.com/topshelfpod, POD. There will always be a post on there. Leave your comments regarding the film below there, and we'll read them off, right? That's kind of what your general thought was
yeah.
for a bit. Or just any general comments regarding the show. Because I like talking to the people, or like I like talking with the people that listen to our show. You guys are awesome. Everybody who was listening to the AFI podcast was a bunch of great people, and it seems like we got even more great people after the show ended. So
yeah, it's your voice matters. If let's create a conversation driven by these episodes, and you listeners can help us make this show that much better.
Yep. We want this to be a community show where everybody can voice their opinion, even if it's like, no, Pinocchio is the dumbest movie in the world and I hate it. Hey, I want to know. Like I know personally, I want to know what your opinions are regarding these films, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little apprehensive about some of the movies that were released in like the 60s and the 50s, 60s, and the 70s by Disney. I don't know if I'm gonna like them, and I don't know how that will make me feel. So I might be negative on one or two of these episodes.
It'll make better conversation. Go
exactly.
For reference, listen to our 5th episode of Franchise Manchise.
Oh man. Oh, that's a flashback. That was almost a year ago. Holy cow.
Was it? Wow.
That's it was the beginning of 2015 or 2016 that we did Franchise for those films. Those movies, those podcasts, are a little less family friendly.
Yes, don't let the kids listen to those.
Yeah. And like I said, I can't remember if I made this comment at the beginning of the show, but we are going to try to keep these podcasts or these episodes more family friendly. We're not going to swear or do anything bad at them.
This will be as family friendly as the movies we're watching.
Exactly.
With
so,
only a
PG.
slight adult innuendo, making it a PG, right?
Yep, exactly. It'll be about a PG, which 90% of the Disney movies nowadays are PG anyway. So, we're not going to do anything worse than what's, like you said, that's in the film. So, but yeah, definitely go ahead and leave a comment on the Facebook page. That is the easiest way to do it. That's just the easiest way for me to know, or for us to see them. So both TC and I have access to that, and we will check them, and we'll make sure to get you guys in for the next episode as we go along. Or I guess even if it's down the line and you're brand new to this show and you're listening to it now, still, I guess, feel free to leave a comment.
Yeah, maybe we'll do we'll do a pickup episode every now and then. If we get a backlog of comments, we can do a segment of catching up on comments.
Exactly. So that'll be normally at this point in the show, but since this is the first episode, don't really have any. I tried posting. I posted on Facebook, but I understand nobody really knows that we're doing this yet. So it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. So
there we go. Yeah.
But with that's the end of this week's episode. Next week, TC, next week's movie.
Next week we are going to Pinocchio.
Oh,
yes,
interesting.
Yeah,
3-year gap because Pinocchio came out in 1940. So there's been a couple
drawing these
of years.
things by hand. They're not coming out quickly.
Oh, come on! They can go live with these animation shows, right? Homer Simpson did that once. So.
That's true. But there was a whole problem with a fascist party in Europe that was kind of causing some trouble around the world at the time. But What?
Really? What happened? I don't.
I'll fill you in later. It's just a
Okay.
little thing. It's a little thing.
Little thing? Well, okay, nothing that I got to worry about. Everybody was okay, right? I mean, is that too dark? Sorry. Well,
right.
okay. Well, with that, so next week we're going to be watching Pinocchio. That's exciting.
Pinocchio.
I haven't watched Pinocchio in forever.
Ooh.
I don't remember Pinocchio that much. This is going to be exciting. So we'll see how things go next week. So TC, real quick as we end on here, where can people find you on the interwebs if they wish to talk to you?
Yeah, if you guys would like to,
you.
if you'd like to comment at me, you can hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at TC's Big Head. I'm the only TC Dewitt out there, so I should be pretty easy to find.
And then you guys, you have your podcast as well.
Yes, if you're interested in hearing me talk more about movies, I do have a podcast available on iTunes called The Rewatchman, where we, similar to this show, we watch an old movie and we reevaluate it. We just posted our best of 2016, which is one of our marathon double-sized episodes, so might not want to start on that one.
Unless you got a good half a day to kill.
Yeah, if you have a long commute, then totally.
Also, if your commute is that long, move closer, please.
But no, this is fun. I'm really excited to do these. I'm excited.
I'm very excited. Yeah. It's going to be fun. I'm kind of happy to be back in the top shelf seat again. It was
thank you for bringing me on to be part of the Top Shelf family.
Thanks for wanting to do this, because this is why I created the franchise was try to be my own thing. And I just realized, you know what? I liked the Top Shelf thing. I liked having a big list of movies to watch.
Lists are fun.
Lists are fun. So, and then for you guys, if you want to find more of me online real quick, go ahead and find me. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Random Bell. That's me. I'm not the only Jeff Bell, unfortunately, but pretty much anything Random Bell is me on the internet. So you can also find me on YouTube if you want to listen to me talk more while playing games. Go ahead and find me at Random Bell Games. Just a little YouTube channel. I've been playing Minecraft, and just like the show, that's also family friendly. Might be starting The Sims 4. That could be interesting. Yeah, exactly. To control a little digital version of myself instead of controlling my actual self. It'd be a lot more fun. So
I speak Sims fluently.
You do. I used to.
We can do a whole episode in Sims if you want.
Oh man, that's gonna be hard. You almost sound a little bit like Goldmember at the end of there. So with that, everybody, we'll see you guys later. I don't have a sign off. Because we'll
have to figure one out, or make a suggestion in the comments below what our sign off should be. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So for now, I'm just going to say goodbye, internet dwellers.
Bye, everyone.
And we'll catch you guys next time. See you guys. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.